on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we are going to be putting on the tube doors onto the Toyota FJ. I've had these for a while now, bought them from a guy here in Colorado, but never got around to installing them. So I just unboxed them. They were all brand new in the box, so I got everything unboxed. I've put one together, so I'm going to show you what they actually look like fully assembled. We're going to go ahead and assemble the other tube door as well, and then we are going to go ahead and bolt these onto the FJ for the Toytec meet coming up this weekend. And I apologize that we didn't have any footage from the last meet. It was actually canceled due to snow. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and get these two doors bolted on. We'll do a little time lapse. I'm going to show you what we're looking at, and yeah, so stay tuned. So here you can see what one is going to look like fully assembled. Underneath the blue little kind of cap right there is the mirror. I just didn't want to scratch it. But you can see I've installed the nets on the whole entire door itself. They do recommend cutting out this little area of the net to actually go around the hitch or the latch itself. I'll show you what they talk about that here in a second. I really just did not want to cut the brand new nets, so we'll probably end up cutting them at some point, but for right now I'm just going to leave them kind of dangling behind. But so that's what they are going to fully look like. You guys can see here, I'm going off of their instructions for the two doors themselves, so I'll go ahead and post these instructions online. If you guys do get a set of the two doors, they do come with the instructions as well. But here you go, this is the two door, how it comes from the factory. Basically, it's all bare bones from right here. So we have to put the latch on, bolt all that down. We will then have to bolt the mirror mount on, which is this guy right here. And then we do have to bolt the mirror on to that, and then we have to do the netting. So we're gonna go ahead and time lapse now. I'm gonna show you what you guys are looking at. It's a really simple install, just takes maybe 10 minutes, so stay tuned. There you have it, guys. Pretty simple, straightforward. As you guys can see, this is what I was talking about. The net is supposed to be, I don't know if they wanted to go behind it or whatever they want, but they want you to cut it. So I'm gonna see if I can figure something else out, possibly like bring it around. This is horrible. Maybe bring it around, I don't know, we'll see. If I have to cut it, I'll have to cut it, but we'll see what happens. But there you guys go. These are the Warrior products. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but there they are. These did come with the mirrors, and these ones did come with the nets. Everything does seem pretty sturdy. The only leftover hardware we do have is the hardware to actually mount them up to the vehicle. It's kind of looking nasty outside, so we'll see if we actually get to mounting these today, if we'll have to wait till tomorrow. But that is basically it. The one little thing that I am, I guess, a little just couldn't believe about is they do require you to drill one little small hole, basically on this backing plate over here. You can see this is just kind of, your latching mechanism is going to be here, so I assume this is going to be kind of what's going to rest on the door itself, possibly going to release the door sensor to kind of make sure the door is shut. But they do want you to drill a hole right there, which is a 9/64. So what you're going to end up doing is drilling a 9/64, which I'll do this outside when I get out of the house, and then you're just going to bolt in your little rubber stopper. So that's really the only modification they say you require. So not too bad. Just have to get that done. So, but there they both are, all fully completed. The only other thing I need to say is when you guys are bolting down and tightening the Phillips head with a small little bolt on the back side of the latch mechanism itself, be very careful because I did snap one. Luckily, they did include one extra. So these require basically very, very minimal torque. So I would not tighten the nut. I would just hold the nut steady and then tighten the Phillips head side. So that's the only complaint I do have. So let's go ahead and get these bolted up when we can. All right, guys, we are back at it. The weather is much nicer today, just a little cloudy, but no rain currently. So we're gonna go ahead and get these guys installed so you guys can see. I have pulled a few parts off on the driver's side. The passenger side is fully intact. What I'm going to go ahead and do is kind of just for demonstration purposes, show you guys what you're looking at when you actually go to remove the plugs and all that stuff. I'm going to give you kind of a step-by-step of what you guys are going to be doing for the install, and then we're going to go ahead and time-lapse the whole entire install. So you guys can see, all I have done so far is these just pry right off. So basically, I popped off the main floor seal here. That comes free, which is a great time to vacuum out your crease if you want to take that time. And then this guy, you can actually just fold it out of the way. So mine's actually resting on the mat, you guys can see. I know some people kind of take them completely off, but I didn't really need to, because the reason you're going to have to do that is these two plugs are the ones that have to get removed. So you guys can see back in there, that is where the grommet here is actually feeding those wires through into the panel. And there is just those 2 plugs. Very simple, basically just push down one end, pull straight out. So that's the only disassembling of the wiring you guys are gonna have to do. For the door itself, what I would recommend is I built a little, basically jack stand thing that I'm gonna put kind of underneath the door. I'm using my floor jack, and it's just gonna press up a little bit. Basically just so I can get a little bit of weight off of the door so I can release the 2, if you guys can see it, the 2 12mm bolts that hold each hinge in place. So there's the other 2, very dirty back there. So we're gonna get those 2. So again, those are the 12mm bolts, and the only other bolt we're gonna have to do is basically the door keeper here, which is a 10mm bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead, when I actually go to the door removal, I'll pull this one off here, make sure my jack is basically in place, and then I'll actually go to removing the 2 12mm bolts back in there. And then the door will come free. So I have heard these doors are about basically 80 to 90 pounds-ish. So it's gonna be not too bad, won't be drastically heavy, but definitely a little bit of a struggle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug in my wires real quick. Before you guys actually do remove your wires, make sure you roll down your window. I'm just gonna use that just so I don't mess up the glass or anything like that. So again, we're gonna roll down the windows first. We're gonna go ahead and open the door, pull the seal, all that stuff. We're gonna come back here, remove the kick plate, remove your wiring. We're gonna remove that 10mm bolt, as well as these 2 12mm bolts on each hinge. So we're gonna go ahead and time lapse, and we're gonna get to that. Guys, you have got to pick up a set of these 2 doors. This is so insane. I mean, it's a Jeep now. I mean, basically, don't hate on me for that one. Besides me putting my damn mirrors on backwards, which I'll have to switch those over, not too hard. I think these look awesome. So really cool. These ones from Warrior Products, I have to tighten all the bolts still though. But they utilize the stock hinges, so you don't have to remove any of that stuff, as well as the stock striker plate. So I know with the Metaltech ones, you actually have to replace your striker over here, which is a stud. But with this one here, it actually utilizes the stock hardware. So really cool, really simple. The door really wasn't that heavy. So maybe like 75 pounds max. I think it's a lot lighter than that, but I won't undershoot it. But I think these look awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything back down. I guess the one thing that's a little sketchy is the big old hole you have on the bottom of the door, but I mean, hell, the whole thing's a hole now. So I think it looks awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other side after I tighten all these bolts down. But that's basically what it's gonna look like, guys. All right, remember how I said it wasn't gonna rain? Well, now it's definitely raining already. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out the second door, and then I'm gonna pull the FJ into my garage. So we're just gonna time lapse this, so stay tuned for that. Alrighty guys, there they are. They are fully installed. Everything is tightened down. I have fixed the mirrors. So everything is great. Both sides are fully done. These things are great, guys. I mean, easy. Just motion of the latches is perfect. I still do need to drill that one little rubber grommet, as I said in the other part of this video. Just drill that hole so I can put that rubber grommet on. But other than that, these things are awesome. Nothing bad about them. Very cool design. So we're going to actually just go ahead and take them for a drive now. So we'll show you what it's like actually to be driving an FJ with tube doors. So stay tuned for all that. Thanks. One thing real quick before we go, I just want to show you a few things. If you guys remember, the stock hardware was a 12mm. The new hardware it comes with is now a 13mm nut. And then it is a let me make sure. Yeah, 3/16 inch Allen key. So if the backside is an Allen key head, you guys can't see, but it's a 3/16 inch Allen key head. That's basically all the tools that you are going to require for this install, besides, you know, your Phillips head screwdrivers and all that stuff. So definitely just a small little toolkit could actually get these fully installed. So yeah, very easy install for anybody who's interested.
All right, guys, this is so cool. Like, I can't even get a video really of it. But, I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. Do not regret these one bit. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. I think these things are awesome. If you guys are going to be at Toytec this weekend, come say hi. Check out the two doors, check out the FJ. Like and subscribe to the channel.